and breathes God's good air, just like we do. But he's got one misfortune. He's black. And because he's black, other men who are white, they've made him a slave. They've put this iron collar around his neck, and they treat him like a beast. And who does this? Our American brothers do this, and they still do it to thousands like him. He's lucky. He's escaped. But there's still thousands like him over there, slaves, in the so-called Confederate States of America. Yes, it's in the shame, sir.
I'm no thief. I'm starving. I've no work. Oh.
Good morning, sir.
Morning to you.
Can I please your tall captain?
Can you what?
Can I please your tall, sir?
Here, how old are you?
16 come All Saints' Day.
What's your name?
Jane Bamber.
What mill do you work in, Jane Bamber?
None.
Oh, you're our mill girl, aren't you?
Aye.
Well, then what mill do you work in?
Blackley Beck at Preston, sir. But it's shut down. There's not a bit of cotton for us to weave. It's the war in America.
Sit down.
I've told these struts once, I've told them 100 times to stay to the side of yonder
no
where
strut,
they
this
belong.
is a young working girl on hard times.
That'll be fourpence, Captain.
Aye, well, now here's eightpence. Go and get me another, will you?
Aye, sir.
Here, drink that.
No, I mustn't. I've never had rum before.
Go on, drink it.
Serving your presence, Captain, I wouldn't give her that on an empty stomach. She'd probably die on it.
Oh, well, get her a plate of beef then, will you?
Beef, sir?
Aye, not the salt beef, the prime stuff. You have it, haven't you?
Aye, I have it.
Well, then let's see it, man.
Aye, sir.
Here.
A florin, sir.
I wish it was 10 guineas, but I haven't got 10 guineas myself.
Thank you, sir.
Now listen, Jane Bamber. Get back to Preston. It's naught for you but misery in Liverpool.
Captain O'Needy?
Huh?
John Bullock, sir. Agent in this port for the Confederate States of America.
Ah, sir. May I introduce Miss Jane Bamber of Preston?
Your servant, ma'am.
Go on, eat your victuals. And straight back home afterwards. Would you care to take a seat, sir?
These are sad times, Captain.
Half of Lancashire starving and the other half watching them.
Did you speak to anybody of my note?
No, as you requested.
Sir, I have a proposition that may interest you. You know the Confederate States are in a bad way for war materials. Rifles, blankets, boots, medical supplies. I'm empowered to recruit captains and crews to run the Yankee blockade with guns and blankets and bring back cotton to Liverpool. Any man doing both will be a patriot twice over. Once to my country, once to his own.
Here patriots die poor.
I'm also empowered to pay high freight to such a captain.
Patriots not only die poor, but young. The cargo and the profits must be mine.
You disappoint me, sir.
Oh, why?
Well, but the South is desperate for supplies. Any man carrying such a cargo into Wilmington...
Can ask his own price.
I'm sorry to say he can, if he gets there.
You don't seem very impressed by the notion that a man should look to himself in these matters, eh?
No, sir, but I've heard it often enough in this war. Profiteers' bellies grow fat as the South starves.
Sir, I'm an Englishman. Now, your war's none of my affair. If I've an interest in this venture, it's purely as a matter of business. Now, I thought that's what we were talking about.
There's my card. Call on me if I can help you. Good day to you, sir.
I've been ninepence for the beef, Captain. A very pleasant gentleman, the American gentleman, sir.
Why, do you know him?
Who doesn't in this port? Still, Captain Bullock's backing a loser just the same.
What makes you say that, eh?
Well, I've had one or two seamen in here done the trip. Nary a one would care to do it again. That Yankee blockade's a news round the south, certain round. Everybody's neck is sized to get in.
Maybe.
Still, they say the money's good if a sailor lad ever gets home to count it.
Oh, well, good day to you.
Good day, Captain Nugget.
Hey, you. Back home. Do you hear me?
Never mind, Preston, you slut. Get back to the side of yon door where you belong. And don't let me catch you in this side again.
The house is made over to you. There's a small annuity from an uncle of mine. That, too, is yours. It isn't much, but it should suffice to keep you and the child. Anyway, it's all I have. The details are in there.
I can't beg you to stay. I've no right to do that. But have you considered what you're giving up?
I have lain awake at night considering it. I've made up my mind.
I'm sorry, Albert. Believe me.
I do. I, too, am sorry.
Now, Mr. Baines, thank you.
Robert?
Oh, James.
How much money, said we, altogether?
What if we realised every penny? Well, with the warehouse and the Charlotte Roads and the Pampero, I should say £2,500.
That'll do.
For what, man?
Cargo, Robert.
Of what? What cargo?
200 dozen pair. Best calf, brand new. At 2 shillings and 4 pence the pair.
200 dozen?
How much, Robert?
Not more than 2 shillings.
2 shillings.
There's no profit for me in a florin a pair.
Yes or no, man?
You'll ruin me, sirrah.
I doubt it.
Very well.
Right, James, will you pray tell me?
The blanket.
Where will you dispose?
100 dozen.
Uh-huh.
3 shillings and 3 pence. Farthing.
How much, Robert?
They're not worth even 3 shillings, no.
3 shillings each. I'll be generous.
Now, look here, Captain.
Aye.
3 shilling it is.
Now then, did you make inquiries about those other items, eh?
I did, sir.
At a profit, no doubt.
Certainly. Is that an offence against the Lord's word?
What price, eh?
The rifles.
Rifles?
From the stock of the Austrian army. Guaranteed to be in fine condition, greased and unfired as they left the armourer.
Price, man!
There.
Well, that's a bit of a stiff price for old pieces, isn't it?
Perhaps he knows where they're going, Captain.
Well, then try somebody else. Look, my customers won't accept any old rubbish.
I warrant you'll find they'll buy those, sir. I am glad of it. Glad of it. There's still a fine profit there.
Well, get me some that'll fire at least.
James, will you...
It won't matter one way or t'other, sir. 50 fathoms down.
This man is built just as we are built. And he breathes God's good air just as we breathe it. But this man, he has one misfortune. He's black. And because he's black, other people who are white, they made a slave out of him. They put this iron collar around his neck, and they treat him like a beast. Who does this? Our so-called American brothers do this, and to thousands like him. He's lucky, he's free, but there's still thousands, still slaves in the so-called Confederated States of America. Yes, it is a shame, and that's why we mustn't buy any more of their cotton. Not if we're starving. Not if our children are starving and begging in the streets.
Thank you, Mr. Baines.
You forget your miseries and think about the miseries of the poor slave. He doesn't have
Terrible thing, slavery, Mr. Baines.
So you tell, ma'am.
That man escaped. He was one of the lucky ones.
Yes,
Mr. Foot's a very good religious man.
ma'am. True enough, he's a good man. His mother kept a lodging house down Lime Street.
Oh, did she?
Aye, ma'am, that she did. As for Bobby Jackson down there,
Bobby Jackson?
the slave, he was lucky he escaped out of Scotland Road.
Oh?
Yeah, he was born down Scotland Road. He's a Liverpool feller.
He wants you to read the good book, the volume of the sacred law. Brethren, I ask you all.
Morphine, chloroform. Must be a lot of pain in the south.
And we'll relieve it at a price.
You're carrying medical supplies?
Aye.
Where to?
America.
What's the rest of the cargo?
Blankets, and shoes.
Rifles and gunpowder.
James?
Blockade running.
You're not serious.
Never been more serious in my life.
Robert?
Don't ask me.
Blockade running? To the south to help and succour those who keep slavery alive?
Aye, and bringing back cotton. Don't forget the poverty in Lancashire.
And this ship will never get insurance on it.
Not a penny.
But these bills for cargo would take our entire capital.
Aye.
Look, Anne, Robert, there's little old profit in Portuguese casks at twopence a barrel. Now, this voyage answers all our needs. We must risk it.
Albert?
Put it down somewhere, Mr. Bain.
Aye, sir.
Oh, hello, Albert.
James.
Where shall I put Mr. Fraser's trunk, sir?
Put it in the mate's cabin, will you, Baines? So long with you.
Aye, aye, sir.
But are you going on this voyage, then?
That's so. May I?
To America?
I have business there.
What of Elizabeth?
Oh, she's, well, thank you, Anne.
You'll be leaving her in Liverpool.
Yes.
What business do you have in the Americas?
Steam. I'm going to see a man called John Ericsson. He's a genius with steamships. He and I have corresponded. He's interested in British iron-built steamships. Has offered me a position as his assistant there.
Oh, where is this Ericsson?
In Washington, last I heard. Wherever he is, I'll find him. James, this wine is fit only for removing paint and barnacles.
James, the crew.
You insisted upon coming. It was your notion.
It's very beautiful.
One day a pearl, and the rest of the time it's just the oyster.
It'd be foolish to say one loved the sea, because it's so cruel. And yet on a day like this,
You're right.
if we were not on such a venture,
Land on the port bow!
We make landfall in 2 hours, Anne. But you stay in Bermuda, remember. Do you know Bermuda, Mr. Baines?
Aye, sir. I've heard it called paradise.
That's Mr. Fern's house.
Thank you.
paradise.
Ella does very well, I must say. For a pilot.
You're not the only one who does well after the war, it seems.
You come well recommended, Captain.
So you will pilot us into Wilmington?
A fine lady, your wife.
I think so.
But do you usually discuss business in front of her?
She is my wife and my partner.
I see. Rich as well as handsome.
Now, Mr. Ferns.
Now tell me,
if we
Mr.
could get-
Sonidin, what do
Don't-
you think of this business?
I think it's a bad business, Mr. Ferns.
You are right. It is. Why? Shall I tell you why it is a bad business?
I have no wish for details, sir. I simply disapprove of the whole enterprise, that's all.
And your reason for that?
Because the cargo my husband carries will assist the South and may help them to win this war.
And you are against that?
I am against slavery and the slave trade.
But so am I, in principle. But you would not rob me of my little comforts, would you?
There is no comfort in slavery, Mr. Ferns.
Well said, ma'am. Well said. You have a lady who speaks her mind, Captain. No harm in that, so long as it is the last time she says it. In the company we keep, she may meet men who would take her words for Yankee treason.
My wife is to remain in Hamilton. So, don't concern yourself with her womanly fancies. Let's get down to business, eh?
Very well, Captain. To business. Now, Bermuda. Wilmington. The distance between is over 600 nautical miles. Now, here is the blockade. Gunboats, cruisers, and here, the main squadron with the flagship. Now, this is Cape Fear, rightly named. And here is the Confederate fort on the estuary. The most powerful guns in the South. Once we are within her range, we are safe.
Oh, dear. Going by day?
Before, yes.
And now?
Now, by night. Captain, you are in sail. If you do not get the right winds, well, you could be in trouble. You know that. Now, I tell you what we do, Captain. We do not try to run through this blockade. No. We set course for the north. We pick up the coast, we follow it down, and we come in by the back door.
That close to the shore?
Closer than you have ever been before in your life, Captain. So close that you will hear nothing but the surf in your ears.
I don't know. Isn't that a risk?
Risk? Of course it is a risk, but not so big a risk as trying to run through 3 blocks of ships.
Have you ever been in this close to the shore before?
Only once. We got away with it.
Right. Let's try it, then.
Good. Well, there remains only to be discussed my fee. 750 pounds in gold for the round trip.
Now, I understood 500.
Some pilots will charge less, but I come back. I have never lost a ship yet, Captain. So do what I say, Captain, and I will bring you back.
And me as well, Mr. Ferns.
I thought you said she was not coming.
She isn't.
I am, James. If you're to die, I shall risk it too.
Master!
Aye.
Put your best man into the cross trees. Give him a silver dollar for every sail he sees.
Silver dollar?
And fine him 5 if we see it first from down here.
Well, carry on, Mr. Baines.
It is see before we are seen, Captain. See before we are seen.
I spoke with Elizabeth before we sailed.
So you know that I've left her?
Yes. She understands your action. She doesn't blame you.
That is most gracious of her.
She realizes the wrong she did you. Or could you not in your heart find it to forgive her and go back?
She's provided for, and so is the child. I've discharged my duty. Maybe more than my duty.
I'm sorry I mentioned it.
We have to tack in close to the surf and creep like a nigger in a henhouse from now on. 186! Go easy, mister! Easy as she goes!
Send you back to Black Spec, sir.
Starboard! Easy! Starboard and easy, sir! Give her steady as she goes, Mr. Mate! Where's Miss Hauser? Go on, sounding sailor.
Sir!
Did you hear that surf, sir? Well, we're nearly in it, Captain.
Let him out, Paul!
Nothing to starboard! Aye, sir.
One thing wrong with this ship. She isn't built of iron.
I've never heard surf like that before, ma'am. Not from on board. Keep her steady as she goes, Mr. Bates. Aye, aye, sir. Steady as she goes.
We're very close in to the shore, aren't we?
We are meant to be.
Can't we move out a little?
And run into a Yankee gunboat. Captain O'Neil, you are paying me good money to get you into Wilmington. Please let me do it!
Hello?
I couldn't abide the noise below.
I can't abide it up here, ma'am.
Will we get out alive?
Well, I'm praying hard, ma'am. He'll have us over, Captain. He's a madman, sir. He's a good seaman, but he's a madman.
Mr. Baines! If anybody can do it, he can.
We are in the estuary! Steer west-southwest!
Morning, Mr. Baines. Yes.
I've seen worse, ma'am.
Dear God.
But he'll live, ma'am. He wouldn't be walking else.
To think they'd do that to a defenseless black man. I hate this place.
It isn't a paradise, that's for sure. More like hell it is. Saving your presence, ma'am. Morning, sir.
Goodbye.
Do you wish me to give Elizabeth any message? She'll be waiting for us in Liverpool.
Give her me regards.
That's all?
That's all. Goodbye. Good luck.
Elizabeth asked me to give you this letter.
harder getting out, Captain O'Needin. A lot harder. They know we are in by now.
How?
The place is full of spies. In this war, it is brother against brother, and trust no man. So I will have my half fee now.
This cargo took every penny I possessed. You'll be paid, though, when I'm paid.
Major Morrison from the quartermaster's office, sir.
Ah.
Captain O'Needin?
This is...
He knows me, don't you, Major?
I do. Captain, I have read your manifest, and I see what you carry. It is indeed a handsome cargo and of inestimable value to my country. Thank you.
Oh, would you care for some refreshment?
Later, perhaps, if we can talk privately.
Don't worry about me, Major. See you get paid.
Would you care for the seat, Major?
Sir, I will take that refreshment now for me.
Oh.
We have strange bedfellows in time of war, do we not, sir? To a safe return home, Captain.
Thank you.
Now, sir. Naturally, we wish to purchase everything on this ship. No point in your selling it piecemeal.
Not unless I have to.
Your prices, Captain, are out of my experience.
Huh? I thought I'd been well advised.
May I ask by whom?
You have to.
Our late friend. They are very hard, sir. Very hard indeed. Now, I would need special permission to meet them.
Oh, I wouldn't trouble to do that. I can always put them up for sale to interested parties.
No.
Excuse me, James.
Oh, Major, my wife, Anne.
Your servant, ma'am?
My wife may stay.
But of course.
Right, you were saying, Major.
Well, if I may expand my objections to your prices as here listed. Sir, the South is indeed in bad straits. Now, Lee's Army of the Potomac has never more than 30 days' rations on which to rely. Well, our citizens very nearly starve. Since the war began, bacon has gone up in price 10 times, tea 16 times, the price of flour's doubled.
Oh, Major. I've risked my ship and possibly my life for this cargo. I've done it for money and money alone. Now, the South is not my cause, neither is the North. James O'Needin is my cause, and my ships. I'm sorry to put it so bluntly, but unless you meet my prices, I shall put my cargo, apart from materials of war, up for auction, as I am allowed to do by your laws.
Very well, sir. If that is your final word.
It is.
You hold us to ransom, sir, but we will pay your price.
In gold. It's Confederate money. It's a debased currency.
You will take your price in cotton.
In gold.
So, you were to go back to Liverpool empty?
No. I shall be paid in gold, and with that same gold, I shall buy the cotton privately from your planters. At bottom prices. They can't give the stuff away.
Sir, whatever else you may be, you are certainly a man of business.
Well, I don't think you meant that as a compliment, but I'm going to take it as one.
Very well. It is agreed.
Done?
Done.
Good. Well, I'll go on deck and give orders to unload the cargo. I want to sail as soon as possible. Oh, and look after our guest, will you?
Why, Major?
Ma'am?
Why do you fight on? The right must prosper in the end. It always does. Why beggar yourselves in such a cause?
You are an abolitionist, ma'am.
I try to understand as best I can the issues. As I see it, slavery must end. It must.
This war is not just about slavery, ma'am. It is about states' rights. Now, states must live as they wish, not as Washington wishes.
Do you keep slaves?
My father does. But, ma'am, even if this were a bad cause, how could I admit to it? And besides, if you feel this way, how can you bring yourself to aid us?
to profit from us.
Don't touch us, sir.
Bread. Give us bread.
Gone. Yellow Jack.
Fever? Here. Oh.
When was it not, sir?
Well, ma'am, we're leaving this pestilential place.
Yes, Mr. Baines. The sooner the better.
Aye.
You won't do what? I won't take you out tomorrow.
But you've got your money.
Half fee, Captain.
But you agreed.
Agreed to go when I was ready to go.
Why?
I've told you. They know that we are in. They mean to get us when we go out. They can come into the surf to get us because they have the boats that can do it.
And when do you mean to leave this place? I mean, a week? 2 weeks?
A month, maybe. They have got nothing better to do but wait.
You would be rotted in this place all month?
It is better than a federal jail.
Oh, is it?
Ah, I see. You know about the yellow fever?
Aye, I do. You should have warned me.
A small outbreak?
I've my wife to think of.
You should not have brought your wife.
Well, she stays in this place no longer. We sail first tide tomorrow.
In that case, you sail without me. And if you sail without me, you will be taken.
We'll see.
I don't give advice, but don't do it.
If the yellow fever gets aboard my ship, we're all done for. I'm between the devil and the deep blue, Mr. Ferguson.
Oh, no, sir. You are between two devils, the fever and the Federals. Good night. Keep close in. Oh, and Captain, good luck.
You've forgotten something.
No.
Thought you'd be halfway to Washington by now.
No?
Decided not to work with Erickson?
For the time being.
What made you change your mind?
Anne gave me a letter from Elizabeth. It brought me to me senses.
James, I do believe this stuff gets worse with the keeping.
East to half north, sir.
And again, Seaman, and again.
Blockade 6!
Nothing to the north, men!
Aye, sir.
I said steady, Mr. Baines!
Every man, Jack, puts his hands on his head. ship is a prize of the United States of America. Fortunes of war, Captain. You gave us a good run, but you had no chance, none at all. We simply knew to expect you.
To expect us?
Indeed, ma'am. Our intelligence is very good these days.
Is your intelligence called Mr. Ferns?
I cannot tell you that, ma'am.
You do not deny it. I take that as an admission.
I have said nothing.
You've said enough.
Well, ma'am, all things will be known eventually, no doubt. Meantime, this ship is a prize, and I have an armed skeleton crew aboard. Now, you may not be happy, ma'am, but at least I trust you will be comfortable till we make port in New Orleans.
I'm impressed by your consideration, sir.
But my wife means...
Is that she hates my face at her table? Well, I'm sorry, but as I say, fortunes of war. Well, I must on deck to see that we sail in the right direction. I prefer Maudsley's variable screw propeller myself.
Are you interested in steamships, sir?
You could say that. I helped build 2 of my brother's design. Back in Scotland, that was.
He talks politely, but keeps us prisoner.
There could be in irons aboard his gunboat putting into New Orleans this very minute. Why upset the fella?
He only left you both on the ship because of me.
No, it's better than nothing.
Oh, things went amiss for us. It could have happened any time. I don't blame you, James.
Blame me?
You tried to gamble and lost.
That's a speech of sympathy. God save us from it.
Well, we'll begin again after they let us go.
You never wanted this enterprise, did you? You should be glad that it's ended so badly.
I disapproved of the enterprise, but that doesn't mean to say I wished it to bear ill.
Hush, woman.
There's no wind. No wind at all.
Well, I'm in no hurry to feel the irons of a federal jail. Let it be calm forever. And if you'll excuse us, But no doubt you'll be impatient to get home, Captain Ferguson, eh?
Home? I lost my wife to the childbed fever 3 years ago in New York. I have no home to go to. The sea's my home.
We all have our misfortunes, sir. There was to have been a profit of some £30,000 for me on this voyage.
As much as that?
Oh, aye.
£30,000.
Yeah. Was to have gone towards building a steamship. A design of Mr. Fraser's here. He calls it the Golden Nugget.
You have designed a steamship, sir?
Well, you've got the plans aboard, Fraser. Why not show them to Captain Ferguson?
Would you care to see the plans?
Indeed, I should be most interested to see them.
I'll get them from my cabin.
What do you think of it, Captain Ferguson?
Well, it's a fine design. I see no fault in it. None at all. I congratulate you, sir.
Thank you.
If, say if we could have built her, what a day it would have been for the men who worked on her, eh?
It would be a blow in the eye for them that wants to stop progress.
There are precious few in Liverpool who could work here. I need a top man, a practical man at my right hand, a fully trained man, an engineer.
Qualified engineers are hard to come by.
It so happens that I'm one myself.
Indeed.
Well, as you say, a fine design. Oh, pity we shall never see her launched. You owe this new country of yours. I mean, when the war's over, what are you going to do? You're not a young man anymore. Who'll want you? Your roots are no more American than mine. What do you owe them, eh?
I've taken their pay. I'll wear their uniform.
And when the war's over, how far will that uniform take you, eh? Now, what happens if you take us straight to New Orleans? My cargo's impounded and the money goes towards a war where it won't show one way or the other. But put into something like this, I could do some good in the world.
It could be a new start for you, Mr. Ferguson. You could be my chief engineer.
£200 a year and a house of your own. And a share of the profits of the Golden Nugget.
You'd have to work 16 hours a day, man.
You said £30,000.
Yeah?
Our risk is equal. Therefore, we take equal profit, 15,000 each.
You want
or nothing.
Very well.
We will sign articles to that effect. Here. I've drawn up a document.
You've come well prepared.
I hope so.
Right. Now, how do we get to Liverpool?
Well, now, you just leave that to me. Captain, Mr. Fraser, if you'll excuse me. Mr. Bell, I have fresh orders for you. You're to take the men off in the longboats and row for the shore.
But, sir...
I have put these orders in writing, Mr. Bell. Show them to anybody who questions your conduct.
Aren't you coming, sir?
No. It's a matter of intelligence, Bell.
Oh?
Always obey the last order given, Lieutenant, and you will do well in the Navy.
Thank you, sir. Cast off.
Man off guard. Way together.
You did it, James. You did it.
Yes, we did it.
We're rich, Anne. We're rich.
Yes, Robert. We went to make a profit, and it seems we've made one. I trust we're all proud of ourselves. James, do you know that woman?
Brethren, I ask you all to read the promise of the sacred law and think about the parable of the good
I've seen her
Samaritan.
before in my life.
And who are they? Who are these people? Our American brothers! Our American brothers do this! Yes, and to thousands like him. This man was lucky. He escaped. But there's still thousands like him, still slaves in the so-called Confederate States of America, the South. Yes, yes, it is a shame, sir. And that is why we must never buy their cotton, even if we're starving, even if our children are starving and begging in the streets. I put it to you, God created man in his own image, black or white, red or brown, and it is not up to us to fly into the face of the Holy Lord? No, because we must not countenance slavery.